Hello, I'm Amanda Farrow of Inspiring Inkin. Welcome to my craft room, welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for popping by today. In today's video I'm going to be making this little treat or sweet or candy for my North American friends, dispenser. The candies go in the top. It's about 6 inches tall, so you can fit a whole lot of sweets in there. And you get at them by opening this little pull section here. Now in here are jelly tots. Currently I am not going to eat one now because I'll not be able to talk for the rest of the video, but believe you me, I will be eating them after the video is finished. So it looks quite complicated, particularly this kind of little bit, but honestly it's really not. I'm going to be using a slightly different paper to the one on this treat box. It's from the same paper pack and it's a brand new paper from the Spring Summer Stampin' Up! Catalogue 2016. If you're in the UK, France, Germany, the Netherlands or Austria, I can pop one in the post to you. Send me a message or an email and your address details and I'll get one to you. But this paper is called Birthday Bouquet. It's on page 9. The colours in there are Blushing Bride, Mint Macaron, Mossy Meadow, Old Olive, Pool Party, Soft Suede, Watermelon Wonder and Whisper White. It's really, really lovely. There are quite a lot of flowers in it. Here's a couple of the other sheets. Flowers, but there are also stripes. This is sort of a confetti and like a scallop trim. And then the pattern that I'm going to be using today has got these lovely scallops and then the reverse is dots. So let us get started. I'm using Whisper White card and I've already cut my pieces of card and my paper as well, just to make it a little bit easier to do. Now all of the measurements, if you look on this video, look down and press see more, it will then detail out all the measurements that you need, all the scoring lines and everything. There'll also be a link direct to my blog, which is www.inspiringinkin.com, and there you'll find pictures of the project and also all of the instructions there as well. And in that see more bit you'll be able to get links direct to my online store if you'd like to purchase anything, and it will show you what products I've used as well. Okay, so all we need is Whisper White cardstock and a scoreboard. This is Stampin' Up! Simply Scored. I adore it. It's got score lines every 1/8 of an inch. Gives a really good crisp score, which is what we're going to need for the box. So, actually I can move that out of the way as well. So I'm going to start making this section. This is actually going to be the box. And if you've ever seen any of my videos before, you'll know that I always make these templates. This is our craft card. I always make these templates so that I've got all the measurements when I want to make this again. So this first piece is 11 inches by 6 3/4. And we're going to score at 2.5, 5, 7.5 and 10. And then we're going to turn it round so that the 6 3/4 inch is at the top, and we're going to score it at 3/4 of an inch all the way across. Now this section here is a little bit, I don't know if you can see me, is a little bit cut out, and it's actually 3/4 of an inch from the score line to there. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this piece. I'm folding it up, and then I'm just eyeballing where the 1.5 line is, and I'm just scoring in between two there. So it actually gives me another 3/4 of an inch. 3/4 of an inch. So we're going to cut those pieces off. You'll see that momentarily. Then we're going to make actually the base and the opening bit. So that is a piece of cardstock, which is 5 3/4 by 4.5. So 4.5 bit at the top, we're going to score at 1 inch and 3.5. I'm going to turn it, so we've got 5 3/4 at the top, and we're going to score at 1 3/4, 2.5, lots of score lines here, and 5. Okay, one more piece to score, that's the lid. Now this is actually 4 1/8 of an inch square. I know 1/8 of an inch is a tiny measurement, but you need it to be that size so that the lid will fit nicely on the top of the box. And then all you're going to do is score it at 3/4 of an inch on all 4 sides. Okay, that's it. Scoreboard can go away. I'll bring the grid paper back in because then the stuff won't slip. So we're going to do some cutting first and then some sticking of all of the patterned papers before we assemble it. So let's go back to the big piece. You're going to cut up from the bottom to where all the score lines meet, and then you're going to carry on cutting where you did that extra score line. I'm going to cut up there, like that. Okay, so that's all the cutting for that piece. The lid, you're going to cut along the score lines on opposite sides because you're just basically making a small box. But on those little tabs that you've cut a tiny little wedge shape out. It will make those edges or those corners just tuck in much easier. So that's the lid. Now this piece is this bit that opens up. So it starts out like this, and we're going to cut it to make it look like this. Looks more complicated than it is. So I'll zoom in for this so you'll be able to see easier. So what I'm going to do actually is put that down so you can see how I'm actually cutting. I'm going to cut the easy bits first. So we'll cut this big section down. Like, and then, it's torn in the corner. There we go. So that's those two pieces, and then these two corner pieces as well. And then you can see it's taking shape now. And then the easiest way to make these triangle sections is to cut on the score line and then cut from the outside to the centre like that, and then the outside to the centre again. And then just do the same in that side. Okay, there you go. So exactly the same. Right, now you need your bone folder to reinforce all the score lines. Spend a little bit of time doing this. Whenever you're making boxes of any description, the scoring that you actually do tells the paper or the cardstock where you want it to go. But by actually reinforcing these score lines, it really, really makes a difference, and it makes it so much easier when you come to fold and bend things to make lovely, nice, crisp edges. So that's the lid. Then let's just do the main box. One more piece. Okay, now there is one more cut that I didn't actually do. That's this piece here, and it's really important that you cut that bit out. So let me just cut that one off now. Okay, so I've now got my patterned paper and my trusty Tombow. I've got a full Tombow. Let's see. The panels, again, like I said, all the measurements will be on in the details at the bottom. But you're going to have 3 panels that are 2 1/4 inches by 5 3/4. So they're going to go on those panels. And then this panel that you've cut out, it's 2 1/4 the same, but 5 inches tall. Now, just a quick word of warning. If you're using the spotty side or a random pattern, it doesn't actually matter at all. But if you're using a striped pattern or anything that's got a very definite line, this is sort of going to go around the box. So try and get it so that they all match, which is what I've tried to do there. So I'm going to see what I mean about it needing the patterns to line up. Okay, so I'm going to now make this box into a box. So just put glue on that short tab, and then I'm just going to fold this over and just make sure that the top is lined up. And again, it's easier to stick it flat on the table. So there's your box. The lid piece is 2 3/4 inches square. No, not 2 3/4 inches square, 2 3/8 of an inch square. And it's important at this point to put your little ribbon pulley tab on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a pokey tool, and I'm going to put it in the middle-ish. If you want to measure it, please feel free, but middle-ish works for me. And what I've actually done is made a hole so that I can put my ribbon through. Now, although it's only a tiny piece of ribbon at the top, you actually need a fairly long piece of ribbon, and I'll explain why in a second, because basically I want to be able to tie it in a knot, and you can't really do that with tiddly tiny bits. So I've trimmed the ribbon down so it's really pointy, so that I can grab hold of the bits and pull it through. Now you might need to coax it a little bit and then wiggle it around until it's the size that you want it, and then flip it over and just tie a knot. And if you want to be super sure it's not coming out, tie another knot. There we go. And then just trim it off. And then it just looks pretty there, but it's nice and sturdy. Then we've got the other little pieces. These are to go around the edges. So these are 2 1/4 inches, no, 2 3/8 of an inch by 1/2 inch. And then I've got one other piece which is 2 1/4 inches, which is actually for this piece here. Okay, right, so I'm going to put the spots on the edges of this box, or the lid, just for a bit of contrast. It's nearly done. One more. Okay, so once you've got your 4 panels put in, then you're just going to pull these 2 little tabs in and actually make the lid. So you're going to put your Tombow on the little tabs. And then just hold it for a second. What I like to do is just make sure that all the edges are aligned. Just give it a good press. There you go. 2 more to do. Okay, let's just check for fit. Brilliant. Okay, so that's the lid. Now we've got to put the base on. Now this is a tiny bit trickier, so I'm going to work with it upside down. Actually, that tab can come off. So you've got these 2 tabs here and this single tab here. Now this single tab is actually going to stick on the inside of the box, and then these 2 tabs are going to fold down, and that is going to fold over the top. Okay, so let's put the glue there. Like that. And I hope you can see. So the score line is actually joining up with the back piece. And then you're going to fold these two pieces in, and I'm going to put glue on both of those. Right, I'll fold this so that you can see. So we're going to fold that down. Now at this point, I turn it up the right way and just put my hand in and just squash it from the top. It's so nearly done. Okay, just pull that piece in and that piece in. Now, as I said to you before, it's easier to put your pattern paper on when the box is flat. I haven't on this last piece because I can guarantee that you'll put it on the wrong bit, because every time I do it, I put it on the wrong bit. So this last tiny piece is going to go on last once we know it's in the right place. So you have a little tab and these two triangle pieces. You're going to put the tab inside, and then you're going to line up the triangle pieces like that together, and then you're just going to tuck the triangle pieces in and feed them inside the box. It's done. Look, how cool is that? It opens and closes. So we'll put that last little piece on, and again I'm going to use the spots on this piece so that people can see that it's different. So why is it different? And then they'll investigate it, or put the other pattern on and then they won't investigate it probably, and the treats inside it will stay yours. So there's that piece. Now I have used one of these decorative elements, or which I know is not on my desk, but it's a good job I'm in my craft room. Yeah, and there are some in here. So there we go. These are really cute, and I'm not going to be able to find them now. What's the chances? Ah, there we go. They're called Botanical Gardens Jewels. They are on page 27, and they come in 12 in a pack. You need to stick them on with a glue dot because they are quite heavy. They're metal, but they are so beautiful. Honestly, you could make jewellery out of them and it would look stunning. So I'm just going to pop that on there and put that on the lid there. Move those out already. And I think we need to make sure it works, don't you? Jelly tots. So I'm not going to put too many in, as otherwise they'll all be gone. So put the lid on, and there you have it. So 2 sweet dispenser boxes. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed my sweet dispenser tutorial. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and maybe leave me a comment as well. I answer each and every one. Also pop over to my blog www.inspiringinkin.com. You'll find lots more creative inspiration there. I hope to see you again soon. Goodbye.